Hi, I'm Sterling. This channel is called Jalisco Home, and we're here to talk today about buying property with US dollars in Mexico. I live in Guadalajara, and here I sort of fell into a property sales and property management job business uh, as a result of the house I bought here in what I thought was going to be retirement. Now, in order to drive home the importance of the three most important investment factors when you buy a house in Mexico with a strong dollar, which is my point of the next two videos, and which is the situation we're experiencing now, I thought it would be valuable if we pointed out the importance of the strong dollar when you buy and the equal importance of the strong peso when you sell, if you're U.S. income based. Those three important factors are the exchange rate, which is great right now because the dollar is super strong, plus the increase in value of the property once you purchase it, plus the third one is the amount of income you can collect by renting the house. Now, here's what happened to me. It was kind of purely by chance. It wasn't so much in my favor, but it was still okay because when I was buying my house here, I was only thinking about buying a house. I wasn't thinking about investment factors. I wasn't thinking about the behavior of the foreign exchange rate, etc. So I signed a contract that locked me into a purchase price of 1,390,000 pesos. And this is for kind of a higher grade condo style house. And at that time, that was May of 2019, the exchange rate was about 19 pesos to the dollar. So do some simple math. That 1,390,000 pesos divided by 19 means I had to transfer 73,157 US dollars from my bank account to make this purchase. Well, the current rate in April of 2020 is now around 24 pesos to the dollar. And this all has to do with the crisis, the economic crisis, the virus, et cetera, that's going on right now. So you can see when I bought, the dollar was relatively weak. And right now, the peso has also gotten weak. The peso has gotten weaker than the dollar. So the dollar appears to be very strong here in Mexico at this moment. So what would I have to transfer out of my U.S. bank account if I was to purchase the very same house today in April 2020? Well, even though the local price has now increased to 1,465,000 pesos, if you divide that by 24, the current exchange rate, you'd see it would only take $61,041 to buy the very same house. Even though its peso value increased by 5.4%, at the same time, the value of the dollar to buy pesos increased much more, by 21%, and that more than offset the price increase. So you see, I could have saved $12,000. Does this mean I should have waited? Well, yes, it does. And if I'd had a crystal ball, I would have waited. But I did what made sense at the time. I bought a house at a price that seemed really reasonable to me. Well, what does that mean right now in terms of a potential gain for you if you were to buy a house now when the dollar is strong? It means that you, as a potential buyer, are in a much better position than I was almost a year ago, as you can see by the example I just gave you. And that is all because of the change of the foreign exchange rate. It means that you could easily gain in real money the amount I just lost. Virtually, I didn't really lose it, by buying in times of a weak dollar. Last year, I was in the kind of negative position of buying with a relatively weak dollar, and I didn't know it, and I had no knowledge that the dollar was going to strengthen. You, being a potential buyer right now, have a super strong dollar at your disposal. So the point in your favor is that actually the number of pesos over the next year is destined to fall because the peso is gaining its strength again. The dollar is losing its relative strength. And that means that you'll spend less dollars. And that right now is very certain. If you buy right now, you'll be purchasing an asset evaluated in Mexican pesos. That's a currency which right now is kind of weak, but now it's on the mend. The peso is getting stronger again. And in the proportion that it strengthens, the dollar weakens also relatively. And this means that the number of dollars you receive for each peso in value that's growing in your house as you own it is growing as the peso strengthens, which you're going to feel when you liquidate your house, maybe next year. And this will happen as the peso per dollar rate continues to gradually drop down to my prediction of 20 to 1 within a year or so. I'm going to make this a two-part video, and in part 2, you can see how much your earning potential could be in this present market, and there's a huge potential. I'm predicting, you'll see in part 2, something like a 36% return on your investment if you'd buy the same house that I just bought and if you sold it again a year from now. But before you go there, before you go to part 2, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. My name's Sterling. You can contact me by phone at 521-33-2154-1547. Or you can send me a message there in WhatsApp, or you can contact me through Messenger, through my Facebook group, which is also called Jalisco Home. Again, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in part 2.